I've cleaned the windows this week, you know. And the bonus is, when I clean the windows, welcome to the channel, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. You know, it's different to other channels. And the thing I can do with these windows is take them out, look. And if you notice, they are gleaming. And so I've cleaned them pretty much for the first time in 7 months. I keep the boat reasonably clean and tidy, but I can't. I'm not one for windows. I'm not one for dusting either. So every so often I do a bit of a spring clean, even though it's not spring, but spring is in the air. Spring is in the air. Everywhere you look around, and there's flowers popping up, there's daffodils popping up. Yeah. And a lovely cup of tea. A lovely cup of splosh. So today I'm going to do a steak pie, a couple of manky potatoes, and some peas with some onion gravy. I think that's the ticket. So let's turn this one on. I just want to make this as easy as I possibly can, and whereas before I did a Feed Me Friday, I had cameras all over the place. Nightmare to edit. It wasn't a nightmare, but you know, it's just a few months. It's a fair while since I've done a Feed Me Friday. A fair old while, and a lot's happened in that time. And the reason why I cut the amount of content I was doing is because it was just getting a bit much. Now I am at Braunston, and the good thing about Braunston is there's lots of things going on here, and there is lots of things going on here, as you will find out on the Wednesday vlog as it goes on. You know, I'll release a little bit at a time because there is so much going on here at Little Braunston. So what's going on? So there's a church not so far away. There's one in Braunston Village, but there's a church of an old village that's been not used for many a year. And I went to have a look at that church, and I stayed there overnight. I didn't stay there, I went there overnight. I went in the witching hour just to see what it was like, and I was full of bravado going there. But I'll tell you what, when I got there, there was less of bravado, but it did remind me actually of the time I stayed when I was doing Queen's Guard and all that sort of stuff. I stayed at the most haunted tower in the Tower of London. Apparently that's the Salt Tower. I stayed there for a night, and well, I'll tell you what, that was quite scary. And the difference between the two, I think, one was a graveyard and one was a tower, but the main difference between them is one, lots of dead people, and the other one, the tower, killed lots of people, hung, drawn and quartered them and all that sort of stuff. So there was a definite difference between the feel of what's going on, and I did feel that there was stuff going on. Let's wash up. So there's that to look forward to. What else is there to look forward to? I don't know really. There are some one or two bits. I get a home improvement thing for the boat. Oh blimey, that's a bit tough. Bit tough, or the knife's a bit blunt, and probably the knife actually, to be honest. There's been some subscribers that have said, hello Chris. Oh, hello. I'm a subscriber to your channel. Oh, that's very nice, thank you very much. And then, you know, we had a chat and that sort of stuff, which is really nice. And then there was another subscriber who popped in. I said, come in for a cup of tea, and they did. and that was really nice actually. I enjoyed it. There's also a lady I stopped. I was doing my brasses, and we were having a chat, and she had such a story to tell. She lived on a narrow boat, but, and here's the big but, only in the back cabin. Wow. Only in the back cabin, only the last 9 foot of her boat, because she lived in a working boat. And I said to her, you know what, you've got a story to tell. Pray tell, and would you mind doing it on film? And she said, I'd love to. Well, I can't stop now because I'm going to the thing in Birmingham for boats and things like that. And well, would you mind coming back and talking to me? She said, oh, but I've got to go, she said. And then I thought, well, why don't I just get the camera and do it now? And anyway, she said, I've got to go. And then she'd talk a bit more. Oh, if only I had my camera there. And sometimes there's opportunities that happen, and some work out for you, and sometimes they don't. And that was one that really didn't work out for me. What a lady she was. You know, cheers, cup of tea. And because I've got age concern, I've forgotten her name. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was that small boat. Now, lots of people commented, oh, you know, it would be nice to have a look on the inside, or it would be nice to have done more, you know, and interviewed him and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what? I did try. I went back there 2 or 3 times. You know, knocked on the door, and then I saw there was someone in the boat, so I knocked on the door. The fella was clearly having a bad day, because he come out looking for a fight. You know, I think he was yeah, he was having a bad day, and by the time I calmed him down, he was actually all right. But there are times again when I do this sort of stuff and I interview people and it works out, and it's taken me a while to interview various people. Christian, I took a chance, but then I'd met him a few times before and we got that rapport going really quickly. So Christian, there was an added benefit, and whilst he was a little bit apprehensive to start off with, he was okay, very good in fact. You know, let's not say he's okay, he was very good. Amanda, I had been travelling with for 6 to 8 weeks, and it was on the last week when I approached her and said, well, why don't we? And she said, that's a great idea. I'm hoping to do Lloyd at some stage or other in the very near future, and I also interviewed someone who's on a marina, and hopefully, well, I know that's going to come out at some stage in the very near future. But to try and get people to interview is more difficult than you think. Imagine you live in a lovely house and some lunatic knocks on your door and say, oh, I like your house, do you mind if I come in and film it and everybody can comment? I think the term would rhyme with cough. So again, it's very difficult to intrude, whilst it's very interesting, and it is interesting how that fella lives on the boat. I think sometimes that becomes a little bit impractical. It's almost like an invasion of privacy, which brings me on to walkthrough of this boat. It's going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. One of the things at Braunston is I have no comms. No comms, no bombs, as the phrase used to say. And so it means that I'm doing an awful lot more stuff, which is why I'm doing a Feed Me Friday, because not much else to do. Can't watch telly, can't read the news. I'm going back to book reading, old style. So it has its benefits, but I'm surprised how much I used to sit on the laptop or the iPad or the phone and just scroll through the news and all that sort of stuff, and I can't do that. No comms here at Braunston whatsoever. So, pie. Now, I've made one earlier. Well, I haven't made it. Colin and Elaine, I text Colin, where are you, mate? Oh, I'm coming up to Braunston in a bit, he says. Okay, so he popped by. And he popped by with a pie. Because he told me about a shop here at Braunston that sells Cornish pasties and pies. Let's turn that on. Cornish pasties and pies. Now, I'd like to have filmed the Cornish pasty because it was gorgeous. Didn't last long enough for me to get the camera out, unfortunately. And this is Colin's phrase. You know when you stick a knife into the pie and all the air comes out, so it's full of air, rather like me really, and no filling. Well, the Cornish pasty was full of filling, as this pie is. And I think, whilst I've not made it, my principal reason for filming this is just to basically say, if ever you're at Braunston and you go near the pie shop, I don't know where it is, I need to ask Colin. But there's a bakery or a meatery or a piery or something like that that sells all this stuff very close by. Give it a go, because the pasty, lovely, and I'm sure this is going to be equally as good. So I'm going to take it out of its tray, and I think one of the hardest things I've got to do today is to decide, do I eat it? Not in a oneer, come on. I did consider it though. Do I cut it in half? I think that's a bit greedy, because whilst that I used to do that, my stomach has shrunk, and I don't think I can eat half, but I can certainly eat a third. And I was going to do it in quarters. Well, I don't think a quarter is going to be enough, so it's going to be a third, kind of like that, kind of like that. Like that. Oh, put the rest in there for another day, tomorrow in fact, because what I'm going to have to do is have the same meal 3 times on the bounce. Put it in the fridge and hope it lasts for another day. Mind you, cutting that up now, look. Doesn't look very big. So the potatoes I'm going to smash, and I do horseradish in there. Gives it a sweet taste. Anyway, this thing is probably heated up now. Look. All I need to do is warm the pie up. Absolutely lovely. Shove it in there until it's cooked. Well, it's cooked until it's warmed through. So I don't want to use any more than just one pan. Why is that? Because I'm lazy at washing up. So here we go. There's a method to my madness. Bit of milk. Oh, I'll do that in a bit. So all I've got to say realistically is Colin and Elaine, thank you very much for the pie. It's very much appreciated. I wasn't expecting it in any way, shape or form, but thank you. It's very, very kind of you. Put a dollop of this in. Do you know what hits the back of your head? Oh, wow. That was hot. Horseradish sauce. Oh, it's making my eyes water. Okay, that can go in there. Oh, I haven't got enough. Oh, admin. Well, they can go in there now, look. That can go in there. Oh, you're going to say, well, that's cold now, and it is. That's where I've messed up a bit. It is very nice though. Boil. Meanwhile, this can go in the oven to keep warm. Ha! Excellent. Then I'll do the same with the peas, put them in there, shove them in there, and in that water we'll make the gravy. Peas are done, look. They don't take long, do they? Which is a good thing. Drain them in that. Put them on a plate waiting. The plate isn't exactly warm, but it's not going to be long. There we go, look at that. Put the peas. This is a right old faff, isn't it? However, and I've lost one or two there, look. Still a bit crispy, crunchy, whatever it is. In there. Onions, get in there. In there. In there. I've got too much water. Like a right numpty. But I do like gravy. Oh look, that's thickening up about right, that has. Bobby Dazzler, Bobby Dazzler. Very nice, I have to say. I say it myself. I'll leave that going. Where's the cloths? In here. That's quite warm. Peas. And pie. Ow, 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 ow. And now gravy. Wow, that's hot. Gorgeous. And that's what I do, generally speaking. I make something happen. I don't know. Let's get on camera, actually. Look at that filling, gorgeous. Let's see what it's like. Colin in a Lane, gorgeous. The blokey that makes the pie, fantastic. I would suggest, if you are stopping by Braunston, to go and visit the pie shop and then make some potatoes and peas. Gift. If this is the first Feed Me Friday you've seen, then there are the other ones, but this is basically what I do. A bloke on a boat making some grub. If you've got this far, so thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, give it a go, because this is what I do. I film stuff on the narrowboat because it's just about my life on a narrowboat, not necessarily on a narrowboat. And until next time, ciao Papa. Success on a plate for me, even with a teaspoon. Was very nice. Now time for a cup of tea.